This week in Jamaica Now, resign or be removed calls growing for the executive director of the Integrity Commission to be fired over the treatment of reports involving Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Cleared, the Prime Minister will not face criminal charges over conflict of interest allegations. Charged, wealth advisor Jean-Ann Panton, who confessed to stealing from sports legend Usain Bolt, is before the courts. And university student accused of torturing his ex-girlfriend in dorm room to seek bail. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has dismissed the controversy involving the Integrity Commission's handling of a report involving him as a distraction. Hours after arriving from a CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas, he told supporters on Friday afternoon that a serious look is, however, required to improve Jamaica's anti-corruption framework.
We must use this as an opportunity to reaffirm our own commitment to treating with the issue of corruption, which has been made into a political weapon. Yes. It has been weaponized and it has been used in a way that detracts and distracts from the real focus.
Now, senior government officials and leading civil society groups are calling for a probe of the Integrity Commission over its handling of the report and a ruling involving the Prime Minister. The calls are also growing for Greg Christie to resign or be sacked as executive director. The Director of Investigations at the Anti-Corruption Agency, Kevon Stevenson, had referred a report to the Director of Corruption Prosecution, Keisha Prince Kamika, for alleged breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act. Mr. Stevenson concluded that Mr. Holness may have influenced the awarding of millions of dollars in government contracts to Westcon Construction Limited, a company owned by Robert Garvin, one of Mr. Holness's business associates. The recommendation was made in a 107-page report which contains details of an investigation into the award of government contracts to Westcon between 2006 and 2009. However, the Director of Corruption Prosecutions ruled that no charges will be brought against the Prime Minister. Mr. Holness denied the allegations. But the Integrity Commission is being strongly criticized for its treatment of the investigation report and the related ruling. The October 2022 report was sent to the House of Representatives on February 13 and tabled the following day. On February 15, Opposition Leader Mark Golding urged Mr. Holness to take a leave of absence until the matter was dealt with. The Integrity Commission released the January 12 ruling on February 16. Now, very senior members of government and leading civil society organizations have lashed the Commission over the matter, arguing that the ruling should have been tabled along with the investigation report. Government senators, led by Foreign Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, say the handling of the case has been unjust, bizarre and unusual. They say the matter should be investigated and the Executive Director, Greg Christie, should resign or be removed. The Private Sector Organization of Jamaica and the Jamaica Accountability Meter portal. Other news now, former Stocks and Securities Limited SSL wealth advisor Jean-Ann Panton has been remanded in custody and is to return to court on February 24. Ms. Panton appeared in the Supreme Court on Friday after being charged earlier that day. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony McLaughlin gave an update to the media.
So the charges are larceny as a servant. She was charged also for forgery, uttering forged document. We charge her for the breaches of the Proceeds of Crimes Act, breaches of the Cybercrimes Act, and as well as breaches of the Cybercrimes Act, breaches of the Cybercrime Act Section 4, that is access with intent to commit a fraud. And we also charge her for engaging, that's the section in which we charge her for breach of the Proceeds of Crime Act, that is engaging in transaction involving criminal property.
Now, the judge in the case requested a full medical report on Ms. Panton. Her lawyer, Tamika Harris, told the court that Ms. Panton cannot walk and is unable to stand. However, a medical report that was submitted did not indicate that. Before the charges were laid, Ms. Panton was grilled by investigators between February 14 and 16, weeks after searches were conducted on 2 premises in the corporate area. This resulted in the seizure of documents and electronic devices, including telephones, which continue to be analyzed. The fraud is believed to be at least $3 billion and has affected investors including sports legend Usain Bolt. Ms. Panton has confessed to stealing money from the former athlete. Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Paula Llewellyn, has been accused of an abuse of process after she indicated on Monday that her office would appeal the 51-month sentence of a St. Catherine man for unauthorized gun possession under the new Firearms Act. Defense lawyer Paul Gentles has labeled the move an absurdity. The DPP had previously admitted that the man was indicted under the wrong section of the law. Dennis Mundell, the first convict under the new act, was sentenced on February 9. The 28-year-old had pleaded guilty at the first relevant date and was given a maximum 50% discount on his sentence after a year was shaved off by the judge after doing the calculations for the aggravating and mitigating factors. A further 3 months was also deducted from time spent in custody. The perceived light sentence sparked public outcry amid a legislative push by the government to impose mandatory minimum 15-year sentences for illegal possession of firearms. But the DPP in the aftermath admitted that her office had blundered by indicting Mr. Mundell under a section of the Act that does not stipulate the mandatory minimum of 15 years. She explained that he was indicted under Section 45, but that he should have been charged under Section 5. However, the DPP, in an about-face press statement on Monday, said that her office intended to appeal the sentence because it was in the best interest of justice. Matthew Hyde, the university student accused of torturing his ex-girlfriend, was remanded when he made his first court appearance this week. The 20-year-old is charged with false imprisonment, malicious communication, assault occasioning bodily harm, and assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. Mr. Hyde is to return to court on March 9, at which time his lawyer is expected to seek bail. The police believe Hyde's ex-girlfriend was held captive for at least 3 days in his room at the Georgia Lane Hall at the University of the West Indies, during which she was tortured with a clothing iron and other stuff. She was discovered sometime after 10 p.m. on February 9. Both are students at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies. 2 teenagers have been arrested and charged with assault occasioning bodily harm following an incident at a high school in Kingston on Thursday. The Denham Town Police say about 11:45 a.m. a boy was forced into a classroom and assaulted by students at the institution. A report was made to the police and the teens subsequently taken into custody. A video of the incident has since gone viral on social media. The police high command is expressing regret over the death of a police recruit who died following a training exercise. Trainee Constable Tishawn Brown was participating in an activity at the National Police College of Jamaica in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine, when he collapsed. The Jamaica Constabulary Force's Corporate Communications Unit says first aid was rendered and he was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Police High Command says the Welfare Department, Chaplaincy and Medical Services branch have been offering support to the immediate family members and the staff at the college. And former Jamaican basketballer Simone Edwards, who became the first Jamaican player to compete in the WNBA in the United States of America, has died. Ms. Edwards died on Thursday after a lengthy battle with ovarian cancer. She was 49. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on the notification and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson, and before we go, we bring you highlights from the February 14 ceremonial opening of Parliament for the 2023-2024 legislative year.